Lovely day for S3K, and a lovely day to praise Big Chungus. What's up, everyone? I'm Joeybaby69, and yeah, welcome to Sonic 3 Knuckles. This game is very not glitchy in any way, shape, or form. You know, it's pretty intentional. You know, Sonic is just doing his normal thing. Nothing out of the ordinary here, but I guess I could just start right away. So you see a timer on my how do I point when it's mirrored? It's really hard to see. I mean, you can see it right in the bottom right corner. I'll bring up why it's there in a minute, but for now, let's just get it going. I'll start it off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. But yeah, going through 14 different zones here, and the first few acts of this stage, this game rather, isn't as glitchy as I made it out to be. So the game is very busted, but it's actually pretty tame once you start off. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get enough speed off this spinach and take this spring off this tree. And we're gonna nab some speed shoes as well as a fire shield up here as well, because it'll be useful for just the first section and to keep this fire shield for the remainder of the level. Now we're gonna go into our first encounter with a fire shooter. Now this guy, you can't deal any damage to him, is just here for a cutscene. So we gotta wait for him to shoot out these missiles and destroy the beautiful area of Angel Island. How unfortunate. But that's okay though, because that's intentional. So we're gonna just take this route and just keep going with the fire shield. Now you could play this level without it, but I'm just more comfortable with the fire shield route. I think is just more consistent. So here is our encounter where we can actually do something with this guy. We're gonna set up Tails to go in for the second hit and just like puppet him just to get a hit for us a little earlier than we could have and deal damage. And once I split, I have my live split here. So you see my timer just froze there. So this game is ran. This game's timing method is real time attack minus time bonus. So it's normal RTA, but we eliminate the time it takes for the time bonus to tally down. The reason for that is because how this game gives you bonus points for your time bonus is based on how fast you go. The faster you go, the more points you get, and those points you cannot skip. The highest amount of points you can get is 50,000 points, which takes around 7.5 seconds to tally down, which takes way too long. Not worth it. So instead of doing counting that and having it actually make you go fast by going slow, which is stupid, we just decided to eliminate it entirely because it just makes more sense that way. We're gonna come up over here and we're gonna play the stage in a specific way. We're gonna one-tap spin dash off that rock and slowly run across this and do a jump up here. So that doesn't seem like nothing, but I actually created memory manipulation. At the end of this level, there is a cutscene that you face off with Knuckles at the end of this boss fight. By doing it that way, and we're gonna do a very specific spin dash after this this ship goes by and Eggman leaves the screen behind us, just so we can do this properly. Skipping the cutscene saves 6 seconds, and yeah, it'd be nice to get it. Spin dash over there. And we're gonna just deal with the boss as Tails falls to his death, as much as I love that. So the reason I bring Tails here is because, not because I like to see him plummet to his death 100 times, but he's actually useful. And he saves approximately 30 plus seconds. So see, I skip the cutscene. No Knuckles meet up there. But yeah, so Tails is brought into this run because there are certain strats and time saves that was found, I would say maybe like a year ago or so, that utilizes Tails to speed up some levels, namely Carnival Night, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, this is Hydro City. Nothing really going on with this stage, so if there's any donations, that'd be great.
We have $40 from Defon, who says, "As much fun as Black would be, we gotta get that blue and magenta for Unravel." Also, shout out to Ness for having me commentate. We also have $10 from a Lil Bad Todinf, if I read that correctly. They say, "Hey guys, hope you can read this during Joeybaby stream. Please tell them that I, little baby toddler infant, well, that's what it is, would like to redeem 6,000 power rings, one for Big Chungus and another for Big Chungus too. I know what that's about. It's a good incentive.
Heck yeah. So yeah, so this is, I don't know his name, but yeah, so that boss is really annoying. Namely because, also, I don't know if you noticed, but I literally almost died there because I just got a little lucky. But yeah, you can get 6 hits really fast on, like, right before it shows up, but it's just so inconsistent to get get hits going as the bullets are rotating. Okay, so now we're into Act 2, and I'm going to intentionally die. Now the reason for that is, what I'm gonna do after this point is set up a strat to phase into the floor to initiate a level wrap. So a level wrap is basically you go so fast to the left boundary where your coordinates hits negatives, and the game doesn't know how to calculate that. So you essentially overflow, well, underflow really, and the game spits you out with a high positive number, X coordinate, which the game tallies that as a high positive number to the far right of the stage. So once I hit the left screen boundary, I'm just teleported to the right, and with a specific jump, I can load the boss trigger, and I'll just sit right in the boss fight immediately after. So yeah, the death is because I need to unload Act 1 to level after work. So going into the next magic trick, I'm gonna do a sub-pixel manipulation. I'm gonna roll down this little slope, do a screen wrap, jump, and try to jump within a 2-frame window. I do another level wrap. 1, 2, 3. So I'm playing I'm playing blindly off screen because I level wrap, so I'm in a different part of the level, but it's faster to just play and keep going without waiting for the screen to catch up. So I had to play a little blindly just to speed that up a little bit. And now I'm gonna do this. So this is the Act 2 boss in Act 1. So how Marble Garden's designed, there are still remnants of Act 2 loaded into Act 1. And if you're able to just level wrap in an area you're not supposed to be in, you can find that trigger to load up the boss fight. And yeah, you fight him in a really odd spot in this scenario. And after this, it's not over yet. I still have to hit this capsule, which when I mean me, I mean Tails. And that's the boss. Or more accurately, that's the level. Because defeating the boss for Act 2 is to trigger itself to go into Carnival Night. So it clearly says Act 1, so it's gonna gradually put me into Act 2, as if like I just beat Act 1. But then at the same time, it's gonna load a cutscene that's gonna be like, oh, alright, well I guess you're in Carnival Night then. Because now I'm in Carnival Night. So Carnival Night, there's another trick coming up immediately after this. We call this wheel glitch. So you're gonna see me touch my head against this wheel here. This normally has properties that circles you around the wheel. Instead, we're gonna just take that property with us, circle around this platform, and drag this property to get us another level wrap. So now I have to play this a little carefully. I wanna... Second. I wanna have the screen in a very fixed position because I want to fight this boss using Tails. So the reason Tails is doing the work here and I'm stuck in this wall is because I want to be in this wall that will help make Act 2 go by faster. And if I jump in this state, I lose my glitch. So I have to make sure I don't jump at any point until I get to the boss fight in Act 2. So now I got through that part. And now I have to just survive this upward section, and I did, thank goodness. If your inputs are off while you're descending, you can die, and you would have to play out Act 1 again. And that would not be great. So yeah, so now I'm actually hovering on the right side of the area of the boss arena. It's because I still have the properties of going right. So once this level starts, I'm gonna bolt to the right. Try to do a very precise set of pauses here. Sink to that ceiling, and we're zipping to the boss. Yeah, so that's the reason why I'm stuck in that wall. It makes Act 2 just... What you see there is just done. It's all done. But But at a certain point, I'm gonna have to jump off the ceiling to get back in bounds. 1, 2, and fight this boss with no rings, which I have to be very careful. I'm gonna play this a little safe, because if you die, you're going straight back to the beginning of Act 2, and I am not having that happen. But yeah, that's Carnival Night. You saw a little of it, but that's all you need to see. So there's certain stages. There are certain stages where there's a cutscene transition to the next zone. These are amongst a few that take a little too long, so I'm going to reset after the time bonus is over. When Act 2 time bonus is finished, it remembers what stage you're going to next. So it's faster to reset and go into the next zone through file select than having to play out the cutscene where you go inside the cannon and shoot into Ice Cap. Oh yeah, and here's Ice Cap. There's going to be another glitch called Slope Glitch. The best way I can explain it at the amount of time I have now, because I'm going to have to be focusing later, when an object is deloaded off your feet, the game doesn't know where to put you, and it gives you a lot of weird properties where you're standing on the ground. And I also call this bitrate zone, because my computer isn't very well suited for this level in terms of how fast the colors go, so just be prepared. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. 2. So I'm counting out loud because my inputs really matter at the times I do them. So now I'm in a different part of the level. This is actually Knuckles' area, and I'm going to do another level wrap by sinking to the floor. I'm going to do a set amount of inputs to try to get myself to reach launch base backwards. These are one of the few levels where Act 2 is still there, and so is the launch base trigger. So now I'm trying to backtrack to find this launch base trigger by entering the hole that normally is guarded by the Act 2 boss. And we are in the hole, and now I have to just clear this snow, and there we go. Now we're launch base. And now another trick I'm gonna do immediately. Yeah, it just doesn't end. So you see this, I'm kind of going slow here, and not just because I'm scared, but I'm guiding this flybot on my left. I need him to hit me inside of the elevator to trigger, to have me clip out of the elevator to initiate a level wrap. And after that point, I have within a 2 to 3 frame window to pause at, just to make sure I get this correctly. There we go, got the perfect frame. So yeah, I get the level wrap, and then I pretty much zip to the boss fight. But it's not just any boss fight, it's actually Knuckles' boss fight. Sonic and Tails fights one of these guys in this arena. But this is Knuckles' area, so you fight 2 of these guys. So give me a moment here, let me roughhouse them a little bit. Okay. So I defeated one of them, and I'm clearly leaving one alive for some reason. The reason for that is the game obviously knows I'm playing Sonic and Tails, so the game promptly clears the act when it defeats one of them. If you were Knuckles, you have to defeat 2 to have the act clear normally. But I leave that boss alive to Act 2, then kill him in Act 2, the game just gives you the win, and we're out of here. Oh yeah, this is Peacock, by the way. You can see like remnants of like a peacock's feathered tail. I don't know, but yeah, that's the Sonic 3 side. Beautiful. And then we do a reset because that's the only way to get out that little location we're at. And now we're in Mushroom Hill. Approaching Mushroom Hill, it's our first encounter with Knuckles outside of the beginning cutscene because we skipped them in every other scenario. But prior to that, we're gonna try to clip into the ground by using that door he closes. I'm gonna have that close towards us and try to input this correctly. 1, 2. Almost. 1, 2. No, close. 1, 2. No. This is a tricky skip, especially because it's easy to get crushed. 1, 2. I'm counting aloud because I think it just helps me by just knowing when to pause. It may sound a little weird, but trust me, it helps me more than you think. I'm going to zip downwards, and another level wrap we go. So there's many different points I could have level wrapped, but I decided to go low into the ground. But doing it that way, it actually loads the boss fight in a different way, where I am able to kill him faster. The game doesn't intend you to kill the boss that fast, so it kind of spawns you in a wrong spot at the start of Act 2 here. You see this mushroom just pop out of nowhere. That's actually a bit of collision later in the level. So now there's actually a mountain on top of me. So I'm inside of a wall, essentially, which looks a little weird, but believe me, that's a wall I'm inside. And I'm going to descend down here, subpixel manip, find the location I want to stand on, and we zip forward 2/3 of the stage. It's a subpixel manip I found where you can just consistently zip through the second wall that normally Knuckles is supposed to be at, and it just makes that part just really easy. And this is a bit of normal Sonic gameplay you're going to see for a little bit. You know, it took a while, but hey, here we are. First Sonic 3 Knuckles normal gameplay since Hydro 1. I'm gonna drag this lightning shield. Oh, I'm sorry, not lightning shield, fire shield into this boss fight. We get 5 quick hits in and get the next 3. Pretty simple. So okay, that's one of the better mushroom hills I've had. That's a really good mushroom hill. The beginning part where you're descending down the ground, that's not easy to do. You have to do spin dashing and jump like almost frames after each other, and it's pretty difficult. And this is a third cutscene skip by resetting the console, because waiting for the battery to fly and go on top of it takes a little too long, so I'm not going to do that. So going to Flying Battery 2, we are going to do something intended. Very intended. So what happens here is that, I'll explain it. So when you hold down the screen and spin dash upwards, certain triggers and objects don't load when they're off screen. So basically, I bypass a trigger that puts me into ball form, but I bypass a trigger that gets me out of it. So it forces me to spin dash inside of the mesh, and it not only gives me this weird state, but I also got slow glitch at the same time. This boss is pretty boring. You just have him just kill himself, really. So this is a good time for some donations.
You know, I don't have any, which is a mistake. Get those donations in. We are super close to hitting 4,500, which is Midwinter Speed Sprinter 2020's total. And that is the second highest total we've ever had. Honestly, I think we can hit 5,000 by the end of the day. There's a lot of day left still.
Oh yeah, for sure. Come on, fellas. Do it for me. Do it for Helix. Do it for Able Gamers. Do it for Chungus. Alright, so I actually retained Slope Glitch again from the capsule, and I'm going to use that to my advantage for Act 2. I'm going to stand on this ceiling and try to drag my angle through the ground to get under here. So this is actually one of the few riskiest, scariest levels in the game. Probably top 3 in my opinion. This thing can easily go wrong. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually under the level. I'm not supposed to be here, and I bypass the laser mini boss, if you want to call it a boss. I don't know. You just wait around. So I'm not supposed to be here, so I'm kind of stuck. Although there is one way to get out. I have to do. I have 2 chances, by the way, to do a frame perfect jump off the ground using zip speed to launch me towards the boss area. If I don't get those, that's generally a soft lock, but there is a way to save it by using Tails, which requires me to switch the controller to port 2 if I want to save myself. So let's see what happens. I hope I just don't have to do that. Okay, well, we're gonna go for the backup here. Let's see what happens. Alright, well, this is the part where I have to use Tails. So basically, I failed the 2 jumps. So what I can do here is wait for Tails to come back, and then, ooh, look at Tails. He's getting me up there. Whee! But yeah, now back to port 1. Sucks I didn't get it, but it's frame perfect for both attempts, so I'm not surprised it couldn't work out the way I wanted to, but at least I don't have to restart in Act 1. At least there's that. But yeah, that is Act 2, and now we're going to Act 1 for Sanopolis. Now, Sanopolis has an infamous history when it comes to, like, how this level was done originally. Normally you were supposed to use tails to push a block down to clip you to the floor to make you get zip speed to do a level wrap. I know that sounded really complicated, but that's fine, because all I gotta do is just spin dash into this ground and I get a level wrap. So, it might be weird for me to say that this is one of the more recent stuff that was found for this game. The stuff you've seen with Ice Cap and Marble Garden, those were found like long ago. That was pretty recent, as weird as it is. Sometimes the most obvious things are the hardest to find. But yeah, all you gotta do is spin dash through that ground and you get zip speed to actually reach the left boundary. It's pretty interesting. It's weird how that works out. Okay, so I've been hesitant if I wanted to show this off. So there's actually a glitch you can do with Tails, where you can actually play Act 1 again by dying after the Act 1 jingle. The game treats that as Act 2. But I want to show off Act 2. Act 2 is a fun stage. As much of a bad rep it gets, I actually find Act 2 really fun, especially when it goes well. But the glitch I'm referring to is that if you have Tails control you to regain your control after the Act 1 jingle and then die after the Act 1 jingle, you spawn back into Act 1, but the game thinks that's Act 2. So you essentially just do Act 1 again, which is faster than just doing Act 2 normally. But for the sake, I want to do Act 2, because Act 2 is cool. So I'm going to be sitting at the start of this level here for 2 seconds, because the cycle is currently ongoing as I'm still playing Act 1. And I just know, just based on what time I finished the stage in Act 1, I know where the cycle's going to be. So this stage has a lot of vertical screen wraps, which I guess I didn't mention how it works before, but I'll do it now. When you do a vertical screen wrap in a vertically infinite scrolling level, like this level right here, when you scroll the screen down and jump past the top boundary, the game gets confused and the camera wraps around one time to find you. During that time, objects are unloaded because the camera is not fixated to you anymore. So here's an example. You see this thing I'm standing on? That's an object. If I jump and do this correctly, look at that, I clip right through. It's unloaded, and once it reloads, I'm inside of it, and the game needs to put me somewhere, so it just puts me right in through the wall. So this is Loop Clip. It's pretty difficult. You have to jump and double jump at a very precise time, like so. I'm gonna just go through various collisions and skip the sand rising section, which is really annoying, because it takes way too long, and it might as well just be in its own auto-scroller. So yeah, another instance of the vertical wrap. Unloading the little pillar, and I clip to the wall like that. I'm gonna do one more here, using this pillar right below me. I'm gonna clip to the wall on the right, jump past, or except I don't do it correctly. I'll try it again. There we go. And clip to the wall there. And I lost my lightning shield. How did that happen? I don't agree with that. Alright. It's not the end of the world. It's just, if I lose my lightning shield, I have to do this part a little slower. I can't just lightning shield up there. I have to just wait for the platforms to rise up fully and then go up there. That's how I'm going to approach that. Oh yeah, you might have noticed, this level is still going, because this is actually one of the longest levels in the game, because it's actually one of the few levels that is... It's broken for sure, but it's not as broken as the other ones. And for how long it is, it's been kind of a holy grail for S3K runners, and I guess 2D Sonic runners in general, for something massive to be found for this game, or at least for that stage exactly. So if anyone can find anything, that'd be great. Please hit me up if you find something. Now we're going to Lava Reef. This is by far, in my opinion, although I think my opinion is shared with many other people, this is the hardest stage in the game. Not because of one trick, but mostly dozens in a row, and each one of them can lose you copious amount of times. But here's the first not so hard one. Position yourself on that floor, clip through this door. I'm sorry, this floor that will get you through the ground. Pretty simple. And now we're gonna do an object phase. On the left part of this area, this is actually the start of Knuckles' area. So this door is an object. If I do 2 quick spin dashes while the screen hasn't caught up yet, I can just phase right through it. So I'm actually inside Knuckles' area, which is a purpose behind it, because I'm gonna do a level wrap by sinking through this floor, get hit and sink through iframes, do a 4-frame zip, and then jump and try to get a level wrap. I couldn't get it on that attempt. I'll try it again. Ah, no. Third time's a charm, I guess. Maybe fourth, but I'm gonna need some rings. So yeah, this part is really hard. It can easily just take you a while because it's just one of those tricks that just seems like it should work, but it just doesn't sometimes. There we go. Okay, got it on my final try. So yeah, so that gets you the level wrap, and now I'm in the boss fight. Now after all that, there's still one more trick that is probably the hardest of them all. So coming up is monitor clip, and that's if I get it. So monitors have predetermined spots on when they pop up, as long as the signpost lands on their designated areas. If you sink in between the monitor and the floor, you could sink it to it, but it's really difficult, and you only have one try to do it. Yeah. One try only, and then after that, you lose a minute. So you're supposed to be able to clip through the floor there, but you get one try, and it's double frame perfect. And if you don't get it, you lose 1 minute, because you can't level wrap to the end of the stage. So now you're gonna see how this stage looks like. Sucks I couldn't get it though, but yeah, it's probably the hardest trick in the whole game. Not because of its frame perfectness, but because you only get one try, which is really unfortunate. Considering how optimized this game is, or at least I feel like it is, messing up or having to worry about that trick is just the absolute worst. But I mean, I guess if you love this stage a lot, then at least you see it, I suppose. Yeah, so this is Lava Reef 2. I'll tell you at one point where I would have actually ended up on if I actually gotten the zip to work correctly. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to play any of this level right now if I actually got the wrap. I've had many runs die to it, and so has others. It's one of the most brutal, difficult parts of the level. Or the whole game, rather. The end game is just absolutely just... It doesn't pull its punches, let me just say that. So coming up to this part, I'm still not to the part where I would have ended up yet. I'm not even there yet. That's how much that level wrap would have saved me. And I would have ended up right here. This is where I would have been if I gotten it. So this is just a little minute longer to get here. Also, that was a stair clip. If you jump on a very specific angle into that stair, you can clip into it, zip past the Knuckles barrier, and then do another object phase to get into the Knuckles area without doing the Lava Reef 2 boss. So that's a time save and a half. Speaking of Knuckles, we're gonna do a little tussle with him. First I need Tails though. We're gonna do a nice little back alley beatdown. Get Tails to position and just murder him, literally. So Tails in that position gets him stuck in a stun lock, and that's able to just rack up a bunch of hits in a row without him having to like really do much of anything, which makes the fight maybe 5, 6, 7 seconds faster. I can't remember, but it's much faster than, you know, actually fighting him normally. But yeah, Knuckles has been fooled. We are the good guys, not him. But yeah, if there's any donations, this is probably the last time to look into that. If there is, of course.
Well, speaking of Knuckles, we have $5 from Caramel Crow. Let me give this my best shot. Here I come, rougher than the rest of them. The best of them, softer than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. Okay, can't believe I just did that.
Heck yeah.
Loving the run so far. Thanks, Crow, for your donation. I do have a couple more, but I don't know how much time you have.
We got like a 20-second cutscene here.
Okay. $5 more from Durs2212. It says, $5 Chungus hype train to 4,500. Give them your energy. Hands raised to the sky. I have one more, but I think I'll save it for the intermission.
Gotcha. Alright. So I'm spin dashing at a very precise point. That pole up there is loaded by the screen. Like, once I go close to it, it starts actually moving. So I want to spin dash at a certain point, so by the time Knuckles opens the bridge and makes that area accessible, the pole will be right there. Also, that screen ramp I've just did is more important than you would have imagined. So I'm going to take this portal here and go straight to Mecha Sonic. This level usually has 2 mini-bosses and then you fight Mecha Sonic, but doing that screen wrap right there actually skips 2 boss fights. Because you could just bypass a death plane that will just put you straight into the ending section of Sky Sanctuary, which saves a lot of time. So I'm gonna do one more cutscene skip here, because this takes a while. Now we approach Death Egg, which in my opinion could be debatably the hardest stage as well, but I'm gonna put in number 2 because Monoclip is really infamous. So this stage's biggest problem is not because of necessarily difficult, but inconsistency. So there's a thing that I never mentioned, but it's called subpixels. Basically, it's just hard to... It's like fractions of individual pixels, and they change a lot of how the game works, right? Whatever. So you can do something consistent, but if your subpixels are off, you get completely different results. And in this game's case, those different results is death. And dying in this stage is really bad, and it happens a lot. Especially if you want to get a really fast time with the stage. So that wall clip I did earlier, I had to hold the screen down to unload the spikes that are above me, and I time a jump where the spikes reloads, and the game has to figure out where to put me, and they put me through the wall. There are times those set of spikes kills you. There are times phasing through the wall kills you. Sometimes doing a trick that I didn't decide to go for, called Graviton, can also kill you. Not only kill you, but soft lock you. So yeah, there's a lot of problems with this stage, which is why this is it gets its name and it holds it strongly, because it's very accurate. So this is Red Eye. I hate this guy. Very inconsistent and just overall annoying. You almost have to damage boost just to get to deal with this guy if he doesn't cooperate. But other than that, that was a good level, just outside of little quirks here and there. Now we go into the final stage. Before I actually played the stage, I'm going to intentionally take a death because we're going to do another level wrap, which requires Act 1 to just not be there. We don't want Act 1 there. So I'm going to take a death to just load Act 2 clean and set us up for the level wrap. So this level wrap is very interesting. We're going to have to do this upside down because that's just how it works. So you see this staircase I just lowered, or rise, I don't know, depending on how you look at it. I want to scroll the screen down or up. Try to position Sonic going upwards to be right under it as it respawns to clip into the wall. Zip down off of this wall and time a 2-frame lightning jump, which I just got. So I get myself into position to perform a level wrap. And we're just going to end right into this boss fight. So this stage is normally pretty long, not like short, but it's, you know, not incredibly long, but, you know. It takes a while, but we could just get here in like 40 seconds. No biggie. So normally the obvious way is just to defeat this boss is go back and forth between standing in the ground and standing in the ceiling to drop the things, these little things that he's dropping, to the machine, but you could just spin that straight into it without having to really leave the ceiling area. He'll be done maybe in 1:14, 1:15? 1:15, okay. So after all that, there is one more glitch I'm going to do. I'm going to get to the end of this wall here and do a one-tap spin dash. You're going to see Sonic and Tails just jerk a little bit. It looked a little weird, but something did happen though. You'll see in 2 seconds. Bye, Tails. So the ground's collision is offset more to the left. So the right side of the screen can kill me. Like, the floor can kill me if I'm not careful. It seems a little useless, why did I do that? But it's actually pretty helpful for one glitch that's coming up. So that was a 2-cycle finger, which is pretty hard to do. You have to manip Tails properly. But this is why I did the glitch. See that floor that's clearly not there? I can stand on it. And I don't have to really do a lot of dodging to like get all my hits. It doesn't matter because the floor here is clearly solid according to the game. I'm gonna do one more trick, have Tails sit there and try to get an 8 hit. And that's an 8 hit. And time is coming up now. Time. GG's. 32-34. That's a good time. Without monitor clip, that's really good. 32 is a sick time to get in a marathon. That's a good GG's. That's exactly 2 minutes and 11 seconds off my PB time. And I didn't get monitor clip, which is kind of what I was expecting. Monitor clip is hard to get. But yeah, 32 is a really sick time to get.
Yeah, that was a great run. You were like 10 minutes underestimate RTA too.
Yeah, it's not like I'm trying to be turbo safe. I mean I am, but as I shown with monitor clip, one mistake equates to a lot of time. If I messed up ice cap, I would have lost 40 seconds. If I messed up Marble Guard, I would have lost like 50 or 40. When I messed up my inputs for Flying Battery 2 and I couldn't use Tails, hypothetically, if I couldn't have Tails for that section where I needed him most, I would have had to do Act 1 again of Flying Battery, and that would have been really bad. But yeah, like, that just shows how difficult this game is, but you can see how rewarding the game is when things work together. But yeah, that's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Of course, stick around for more. I think Neopets is coming up, which sounds very interesting.
Sure is.
Yeah, but yeah, if you like Sonic, you can follow me at twitch.tv/Joeybaby69. I just do Sonic runs. Record holder for this game, as well as Sonic 1 and 2 before this. But yeah, shoutouts to everyone in chat. I'm sorry I've been looking at chat too much. I would like to respond more, but it's like, this game is hard, you know? So I try to just explain more and, you know? But yeah, I appreciate you guys chilling. But yeah, shoutouts to the Sonic speedrun community. They're a bunch of good fellows. If you want to run this game, or any Sonic game rather, we got a Discord for that. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. We are always open to help more new runners. It's pretty fun. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys for having me. Shoutouts to Midwest Speedfest. Shoutouts to Helix. Awesome Monkey Ball runner. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of Midwest.
And GG again. Definitely go follow Joey. Would recommend. And stay tuned, everyone. This Neopets round is going to be awesome too.